They smile at you. They swear loyalty. They nod when you speak, echo your words, carry your banner. And yet when the moment is ripe, when ambition outweighs fear, they will turn. They will twist the knife, not in your chest, but in your back. Betrayal has always been the strongest weapon in the game of power, because it doesn't break through your defenses. It uses them. Your trust becomes the blade. Your faith becomes the poison. And by the time you realize it, the wound is already fatal. They will tell you loyalty exists. They will preach about bonds, about brotherhood, about unshakable ties, lies. Machiavelli exposed this centuries ago. Men are loyal only when it serves them. Fear bends loyalty. Greed breaks it. Opportunity shatters it. And so the most dangerous enemy is never the one across the battlefield. It is the one standing too close. The one who knows your movements, your weaknesses, your secrets. That is why betrayal topples kings, destroys empires, and ends dynasties overnight. But here is the forbidden truth. Betrayal cannot be eliminated. Only fools think they can. Erase it. You can only anticipate it, counter it, or when necessary, wield it yourself. Power is not built on trust. Power is built on control. You are here because you want to be untouchable. Then study betrayal as a weapon. Study it the way warriors study steel. Comment, I fear no dagger in the dark. If you're ready to step into Machiavelli's forbidden truth, first law, the root of betrayal. Betrayal is not an accident. It is not a mistake born of confusion. It is a law of human behavior as predictable as hunger or thirst. At its root lies a dark reality. People are loyal only to themselves. Every oath they swear, every promise they make, every smile they show, they are bargaining chips, not eternal truths. And when the balance of power shifts, when keeping faith costs more than breaking it, the mask cracks. Betrayal blooms like a poison flower, inevitable, unstoppable. Machiavelli dissected this with surgical precision. He wrote that men are bound by loyalty only so long as it does not collide with their self-interest. The moment ambition outweighs gratitude, the moment fear of loss fades, loyalty evaporates, and what remains is the raw, primal instinct to strike first before being struck. That is why betrayal is older than war, sharper than steel, and more reliable than armies. It requires no sword. It requires only opportunity. You must burn this truth into your mind. Trust is not natural. It is manufactured. Trust exists only when the costs of betrayal outweigh the rewards. That is why kings forged fear through punishment and rulers bought loyalty with wealth. But fear can fade. Wealth can run dry. And when they do, betrayal erupts. That is why empires fall not from invasion, but from the rot inside their walls. The servant who resents, the advisor who envies, the ally who wants more. Betrayal grows in silence until the strike is sudden and devastating. So understand this. The root of betrayal is not evil. It is calculation. It is self-preservation twisted with ambition. It is human nature. You cannot abolish it, but you can prepare for it. You can expect it, detect it, and use it. And when you do, betrayal loses its sting. It becomes predictable, even useful. Comment, I weaponize awareness if you are ready to see betrayal not as tragedy, but as the oldest truth of power. Second law, the anatomy of betrayal. Betrayal is not chaos. It is architecture. It has stages, a structure, a design as precise as any weapon. First comes the cultivation of trust. They study you, mirror you, build rapport until you believe their loyalty is unshakable. This is the camouflage. Without it, the dagger cannot be hidden. Then comes expectation. They let you lean on them, depend on them, reveal secrets, delegate power. The more you trust, the sharper their blade becomes. The third stage is timing, a betrayal. Too early is suicide. Too late is wasted. The betrayer waits until the stakes are high, until the damage will be permanent. Then comes the strike. Fast, clean, decisive. By the time you realize you are already bleeding, this is the anatomy of betrayal. Disguise, dependence, timing, execution. Every traitor follows this silent choreography whether they know it or not. Understand, betrayal is parasitic. It feeds on your strengths, not your weaknesses. It uses your trust, your openness, your generosity as tools against you. The greater your faith, the deeper the wound. That is why betrayal devastates more than open conflict, because it flips your virtues into vulnerabilities. Your loyalty becomes your blindfold. Your openness becomes your chain. And when the blow lands, you collapse under the weight of your own misplaced belief. Machiavelli would laugh at those who glorify trust as sacred. To him, trust was a tool, nothing more. And tools can be stolen, twisted, turned against you. To survive, you must reverse the anatomy. Test loyalty before granting power. Create dependence rather than surrendering it. Control timing. So, betrayal has no moment to bloom. When you master these mechanics, betrayal becomes less of a threat and more of a predictable move on the board. Cold awareness disarms the parasite before it feeds. Comment, I master the anatomy of power. If you refuse to be blind to the steps of betrayal. Third law, the psychology of the betrayer. To understand betrayal, you must dissect the mind of the betrayer. They do not see themselves as villains. Rarely do they imagine themselves snakes. They see themselves as justified, as clever as survivors. Psychology cloaks their treachery in necessity. Ambition whispers, you deserve more. Envy whispers, why should they rule while you serve? Fear whispers, if you do not strike first, you will be devoured. Each voice corrodes loyalty until the act feels inevitable, even righteous. The betrayer convinces themselves that their move is not treason, but strategy, not weakness, but strength. That is why betrayal is so lethal, because the power betrayer strikes not with guilt, but with conviction. At the root of their psychology lies resentment. The longer they stand in your shadow, the heavier it becomes. They study your flaws, magnify them, justify their envy, until betrayal feels like liberation. Pride fuels this fire. No one betrays from a sense of inferiority. They betray to prove superiority. That is why advisors turn on kings, soldiers turn on generals, friends turn on leaders. The dagger is never just about gain. It is about reclaiming dignity, about rewriting hierarchy. Their mind twists the act into revenge, justice, destiny. You must remember this. Betrayal is birthed in silence long before the blade is drawn. It grows. Inside looks that lingered too long. Inside words left unsaid. Inside ambitions carefully concealed. If you believe loyalty is natural, you will never see the storm coming. If you accept betrayal as psychology, you will smell it before it arrives. To protect yourself, you must think like the betrayer. See through their envy, hear the whispers of ambition, detect the pride that swells before the strike. Once you learn to inhabit their mind, their treachery ceases to be shocking. It becomes obvious. Comment, I think like the enemy if you are ready to step into the mind of the betrayer and strip their weapon of surprise. Fourth law, the power in betrayal. Betrayal is not just destruction. It is creation. When a dagger slides into the spine of power, it does more than kill. It rearranges the board. The betrayer does not simply remove you. They seize the narrative, the position, the leverage. Betrayal is efficient because it shortcuts the battlefield. Why fight armies when one trusted hand can topple an empire? Overnight? Why struggle for decades when a single well-placed strike can rearrange destiny in an instant? This is why betrayal has always been the strongest weapon in the arsenal of power. It bypasses the walls you build, the defenses you trust, the alliances you cultivate. One move and the hierarchy is inverted. Think of history's greatest collapses. Rome convulsed not from barbarian swords, but From senators plunging blades into Caesar, monarchies crumbled not from foreign invasions, but from courtiers who chose ambition over loyalty. Corporations, families, dynasties, every throne has been cracked from within. That is the terrifying power of betrayal. It attacks from where you least expect, and it shifts control with surgical speed. Machiavelli taught that fear was a ruler's strongest anchor, because fear is harder to betray than love. Why? Because betrayal feeds on love, trust, dependency. Fear leaves little room to breathe, and so betrayal hesitates. But love gives the betrayer access, confidence, intimacy, and when they turn, the strike is devastating. The power of betrayal also lies in its spectacle. A public act of treachery shatters the illusion of stability. It doesn't just wound you, it warns everyone else. The message is clear. Your power was never as strong as they believed. And in power games, perception is reality. The traitor gains strength not only from your fall, but from the theater of the fall itself. That is why betrayal is often remembered. More than the reign it ends. People forget the years you ruled. They never forget the night you were betrayed. You must absorb this truth without fear. Fear paralyzes. Awareness empowers. When you understand betrayal as transformation, not just destruction, you begin to wield foresight. You stop clinging to loyalty like a fool and start monitoring the architecture of your circle. You prepare for shifts before they strike. Betrayal, once expected, loses half its power. Comment: I bend power, I do not break. If you are ready to turn the weapon of betrayal into a map of control. Fifth law, the cost of betrayal. Betrayal is the most powerful weapon in power games, but it is not without cost. The betrayer strikes, but they bleed as well. Trust, once shattered, is gone forever. A man who betrays once is branded for life. He may seize a throne, but he will never sit comfortably upon it. Every ally watches him with suspicion. Every subordinate wonders when their turn comes. Betrayal wins power swiftly, but it corrodes it slowly. This is the paradox. Betrayal can crown you, but it can never truly secure you. And yet, people still choose it because ambition blinds them to the long-term cost. They crave the immediate spoils, the instant reversal, the intoxicating thrill of triumph. But understand this, the victim pays dearly too. The cost of betrayal is humiliation. It strips away your illusion of control, reveals your vulnerability, and leaves scars deeper than wounds of war. Armies can be rebuilt, money can be earned back, but the sting of betrayal echoes in your psyche forever. It shakes your judgment. It makes you doubt allies, question motives, fear shadows. And that is why betrayal is such a devastating weapon, because its cost is not just loss of position, but loss of certainty. Machiavelli himself advised rulers to expect betrayal, not because it can always be stopped, but because being shocked by it is fatal. To be shocked is to be unprepared, and in power, unpreparedness is death. But here lies the counterweight. Those who survive betrayal grow stronger than before. Pain sharpens perception. Loss fortifies defenses. Betrayal teaches the lesson. No book, no teacher, no philosophy can engrave. Once you have been betrayed, i.e., you no longer live under illusions. You see clearly. You learn to rule not by trust, but by balance. By ensuring betrayal always costs more to the traitor than to you. The wise use betrayal's cost as a forge. They emerge colder, sharper, untouchable. So remember, betrayal cuts both ways. The traitor gains power but loses peace. The betrayed loses certainty but gains clarity. The only true loser is the one who learns nothing. Comment: I turn wounds into weapons if you choose to use the cost of betrayal as fuel, not chains. Sixth law, detecting betrayal. Before it strikes, betrayal never comes without a whisper. It always leaks signs. Before the strike, The untrained never see them because they are blinded by trust, distracted by comfort. But if you learn to watch with cold eyes, you can smell betrayal before it happens. It begins in subtle shifts. Words that once carried conviction now feel empty. Smiles linger a second too long or vanish too quickly. The tone changes. Agreement becomes silence. Silence becomes distance. They no longer look you directly in the eye, or they look too intensely, trying to mask contempt. These are not coincidences. These are signals, and if you ignore them, you will pay with blood. The psychology of betrayal leaks through behavior. The betrayer rehearses treachery in their mind long before they act. Guilt makes them overcompensate. Too much praise, too much loyalty displayed, too much eagerness to prove devotion, or envy makes them withdraw, holding back information, withholding effort slowly, starving you of support. Betrayal reveals itself in these small cracks. The trick is not to look at words, but at patterns. Consistency breaks before loyalty does. When their rhythm changes, betrayal is in motion. Another tell is ambition. Watch how they react to your success. A loyal man is strengthened by the rise of his leader. A betrayer feels suffocated by it. If your victories make them smaller instead of larger, they are already sharpening their dagger. Watch envy in their eyes, resentment in their pauses. They may not say it, but the silence betrays them more than any confession. You must also test loyalty deliberately. Give them information of little value, but make it appear important. If it leaks, you know where the crack lies. Offer them small chances to cheat and see if they take them. The man who betrays in small things will betray in great things. Machiavelli himself suggested rulers should distrust openly but punish selectively. By testing, you force betrayal to reveal itself before it can grow fatal. To survive, you must never assume silence means safety. Betrayal is always preparing. It is always coiled, waiting for the perfect moment. Your task is to watch patterns, test loyalty, and remain colder than those around you. Do not wait for the dagger. See it in their eyes before they raise it. Comment, I see through masks. If you are ready to sharpen your perception until no betrayal ever blindsides you again. Seventh law, countering betrayal with power. You cannot erase betrayal from the world, but you can counter it. You can blunt its dagger before it ever reaches your spine. To do this, you must understand the laws of control. Betrayal thrives in shadows, in secrecy, in complacency. You must strip all three from your circle. The first weapon is information. Control what people know. Share power in fragments, never in full. A traitor cannot wound you if they only hold pieces of the puzzle. The more you scatter knowledge, the more dependent they remain on you. Dependence is the antidote to betrayal. Make them need you more than they could ever gain from betraying you. If they rely on you for survival, they will think twice before sharpening their knife. The second weapon is testing. Do not wait for betrayal to reveal itself in catastrophe. Create controlled environments where loyalty is challenged. Give them choices where betrayal would be easy but unprofitable. See who hesitates. See who cracks. Those who betray in small ways must be removed before they graduate to larger treasons. Machiavelli warned, a prince must always test his men, for untested loyalty is worthless. The third weapon is fear, not theatrical fear, but strategic fear. Let them know without words that betrayal carries consequences too devastating to risk. The fear of punishment must outweigh the reward of treachery. Caesar fell because his punishment was too slow, too weak. Ruthless rulers endure because betrayal is not only punished, it is annihilated. The traitor must not only die but serve as a warning. Their downfall must echo so loudly that others hesitate forever. Fear is not cruelty. Fear is insurance. The fourth weapon is unpredictability. Betrayal thrives when you are predictable, when they can anticipate your movements and prepare the strike. Become unreadable. Shift your habits. Guard your thoughts. Let no one map your patterns fully. An unpredictable leader is difficult to betray because timing becomes impossible. The betrayer hesitates, and hesitation is fatal in the game of power. The fifth weapon is division. Never allow your circle to unite against you. Keep rivals balanced. Egos clashing, ambitions crossing. A divided court cannot conspire effectively. Betrayal requires alliance. Destroy the alliance and betrayal collapses. Kings have survived centuries not through love or admiration, but through the art of pitting ally against ally. Control the divisions, and betrayal suffocates under its own fragmentation. To counter betrayal is not to dream of loyalty, it is to weaponize awareness, dependence, fear, unpredictability, and division. With these, the traitor's dagger never finds your back. Instead, it rusts in their hand. Comment: I crush betrayal before it breathes. If you are ready to wield these laws with cold precision. Eighth law: using betrayal as your own weapon. Most men fear betrayal. Few dare to wield it. Get betrayal in the right hand is not just a defense to anticipate, but a sword to command. To use betrayal is to step into the forbidden realm. Machiavelli hinted at the realm where morality is discarded, where strategy is all that remains. The weak call it dishonor, the strong call it survival. Betrayal, when used deliberately, becomes the fastest, cleanest way to topple rivals. Why engage in long wars, endless negotiations, or fragile alliances when one calculated act of treachery reorders the board in a single night? The genius of betrayal is speed. It can do in one stroke what armies cannot accomplish in decades. But betrayal must be executed with precision. Reckless treachery destroys its wielder. Controlled treachery crowns him. The first rule: betray only upward. Striking at those above you grants you their throne. Betraying downward is meaningless, for the weak have nothing you need. The second rule: betray only once. Repeat. Betrayal marks you as untrustworthy, and soon no one will align with you. A single betrayal, well-timed, carries the weight of destiny. The third rule: veil it in necessity. Let the world believe you had no choice. Cloak it in survival, in inevitability, in destiny itself. The betrayed will be hated more than you. If you can convince others their downfall was self-inflicted, history proves this truth. Advisors who betrayed kings often became kings themselves. Generals who betrayed rulers seized empires. Even corporations today are built on betrayals. Partners ousted, founders replaced, alliances broken. And yet the betrayer who ascends does not call it treason. He calls it restructuring. He calls it destiny. Betrayal, once successful, is rewritten as vision. The greedy world admires winners. They forget the method once the crown shines. Still, you must handle betrayal like fire. Too close, it burns you. Too frequent, it consumes you. Used sparingly, it terrifies all who watch. When your enemies know you are capable of betrayal, they tread carefully, watching every step. Fear of your treachery becomes its own form of control, and that is the true genius. Betrayal is not just the act itself, but the aura it leaves behind, an aura that makes men cautious, submissive, restrained. So, yes, learn to counter betrayal, but also learn to wield it, not recklessly, not cheaply, but surgically, when the strike will rewrite destiny in your favor. Comment: I wield betrayal as fire. If you are ready to embrace this forbidden weapon and terrify your rivals into submission. Ninth law: building untouchable power. To build untouchable power, you must first abandon illusions. Power is not safety. Power is not comfort. Power is not trust. Power is survival sharpened into dominance. If you wish to rise beyond betrayal, you must construct yourself as a fortress, not the kind made of stone, but of mind, strategy, and perception. Most men build castles of flesh. They rely on friends, on partners, on family, on allies. They weave networks of trust and call it strength. But trust is sand. It shifts beneath your feet the moment the tide changes. Untouchable power requires something colder, something harder, something that does not bend when betrayal arrives. The first foundation of untouchable power is the fortress of mind. You must train yourself to expect treachery as naturally as rain. The betrayed man is shocked. The untouchable man is unsurprised. You must assume betrayal is always plotting in the dark, even when smiles surround you. This mindset is armor. When you anticipate deception, you no longer lean blindly on others. You carry yourself with a quiet suspicion, a calculated distance. And distance is strength. It allows you to see patterns others miss, to remain unbroken when others collapse. Stoicism must be your constant companion. Pain is inevitable. Loss is inevitable. Betrayal is inevitable, but collapse is not. Collapse is a choice. A fortress mind turns betrayal into confirmation of what you already knew, not a wound that weakens you. The second foundation is control of loyalty. True power is not in being loved. It is in making others depend on you. If they need you more than you need them, betrayal becomes suicide for them. Dependency is a leash, invisible yet unbreakable. Feed their ambitions, but make those ambitions tied to you. Let them rise, but only through your favor. If they turn, they fall. This creates a loyalty not of affection but of calculation. They do not stay because they admire you. They stay because leaving destroys them. That is the kind of loyalty that resists betrayal, because betrayal costs more than obedience. The third foundation is fear, not paranoia, but measured intimidation. Your aura must whisper one truth. Betrayal will not be forgiven. Consequences must be certain, swift, unforgettable. Punishment is not cruelty. It is preservation. Men betray when they believe they can get away with it. Remove that belief, and half the daggers vanish before they're drawn. A reputation for merciless retaliation is worth more than an army of guards. When men whisper of what happens to traitors under your rule, they police themselves. They hesitate, they delay, and in hesitation lies your safety. The fourth foundation is layers of trust. Never place all power in one man's hands. Divide it, scatter it, overlap it. Give no single ally the full map to your empire. Divide tasks, divide secrets, divide influence. This way, betrayal by one man wounds, but never kills. You must build redundancies the way engineers build fail-safes. Expect systems to collapse, but ensure collapse is never total. The untouchable ruler survives betrayal because he has built walls within walls, layers within layers. Each traitor discovers too late that the power he thought he seized was only a fragment, never the whole. The fifth foundation is unpredictability. Betrayal thrives on patterns. If they can anticipate your steps, they can set the trap, break your rhythm, change your habits, be unreadable, surprise even your allies. Let no one feel they know your next move completely. To be untouchable is to be unfathomable. When no one can chart your behavior, no one can time the dagger. This unpredictability breeds hesitation, and hesitation kills betrayal before it breathes. Finally, the sixth foundation is vision. Men betray leaders who stagnate. They betray rulers who falter, hesitate, weaken. But men follow visionaries, even if reluctantly, because vision gives meaning to their loyalty. Show them a horizon they cannot reach without you. Show them a future where their fortunes rise with yours. If betrayal means abandoning destiny, fewer will risk it. Vision is not kindness. Vision is a weapon. It ties their ambitions to your leadership and makes betrayal seem like suicide. Untouchable. Power is not about erasing betrayal. It is about absorbing it, surviving it, and weaponizing it. When you build yourself as fortress of mind, architect of dependency, wielder of fear, master of layers, shadow of unpredictability, and bearer of vision, you transcend betrayal itself. You become untouchable because betrayal, though inevitable, can no longer break you. Comment: I build fortresses within if you are ready to. construct a power that no dagger, no poison, no traitor can ever dismantle. 10th law, the final law. Power is a battlefield without end. Armies march. Thrones rise, crowns glitter. But behind it all, one truth governs every victory and every downfall. Betrayal is the law of men. Not a crime, not an accident, a law. It is the invisible hand shaping kingdoms, corporations, families, even friendships. You live in a world where betrayal is not the exception, but the bloodstream of human ambition. To ignore this law is to perish. To understand, it is to endure. To master it is to ascend. That is why Machiavelli's forbidden truth still echoes centuries after his death. Betrayal is the strongest weapon in the games of power. And yet within that same truth lies the final law. The law that transforms you from prey into predator, from victim into sovereign, from fragile to untouchable. The final law is simple but merciless. Never place your survival in the hands of loyalty. Place it only in the architecture of control. Loyalty is sand. It shifts. It crumbles. It dissolves the moment fear weakens. Wealth fades, or opportunity appears. Control, however, endures. Control is built not on affection, but on design. You must build your life, your power, your empire as though betrayal were already at your gates. Do not hope for loyalty. Expect betrayal. Plan for it. Design systems that absorb it. A king who counts on devotion is already dead. A king who counts on control is eternal. How do you execute this law? By making betrayal costly, slow, and ineffective. The first strategy: control the flow of information. A traitor cannot wound you if he does not know where to strike. Scatter secrets like shattered glass. Give each man only fragments. Let no one hold the whole truth. Betrayal thrives on knowledge. Deny it and its power. Information is not just power, it is insulation. Guard it like your blood. The second strategy: make every man's fortune depend on you. Dependency is a true leash. If their survival, wealth, or rise is tied to your hand, betrayal becomes suicide. The weak stay loyal when they cannot eat without your table, when they cannot breathe without your networks, when their future collapses without your favor. Dependency is stronger than love. Dependency is harder than trust. Dependency bends men's wills like iron in a furnace. Build this and betrayal starves before it can move. The third strategy: craft a reputation of merciless retaliation. Fear of betrayal prevents more betrayals than loyalty ever could. The man who betrays you must not only die, he must vanish in disgrace, his name poisoned, his allies dismantled. Punishment must echo so loudly that others flinch at the thought of treachery. Men will always dream of betrayal, but dreams turn to nightmares, and they know the price. A wise ruler does not punish often, he punishes decisively. One execution outweighs 100 warnings. One downfall silences, whispers for decades. The fourth strategy: weave division into your circle. Never allow unity strong enough to conspire against you. Keep allies balanced, egos clashing, ambitions competing. A divided court has no space for betrayal to grow, for no two rivals can conspire when they mistrust each other more than they mistrust you. Divide, scatter, balance. This is the invisible chain that binds them tighter than oaths. Betrayal requires alliance. Destroy the possibility of alliance and you destroy betrayal itself. The fifth strategy: remain unpredictable. Betrayal feeds on predictability. If they can map your steps, they can time their strike, break your rhythm, shift your habits, surprise even your confidence. Let no one predict where you will be tomorrow or what decision you will make today. Mystery is armor. The man they cannot read, they cannot betray effectively. Hesitation is fatal to traitors, and unpredictability forces hesitation. The sixth strategy: wield vision as a weapon. Men betray leaders who falter, who weaken, who wander aimlessly. They rarely betray visionaries. Show them a horizon they cannot reach without you. Offer them a future only you can unlock. If betrayal means abandoning destiny, fewer will risk it. Vision chains their ambition to your survival. They see you not as master, but as bridge to greatness. And bridges are not burned lightly, but the final law does not stop. At strategy, it demands transformation. You must embody betrayal itself, not as victim, but as weapon. Accept that loyalty will always fracture, that even your closest ally may turn. Accept it so deeply that when betrayal comes, it does not shake you. It confirms your worldview. That is the state of untouchable power, not shock, but readiness. When you are betrayed, you bleed, but you do not collapse. You lose, but you do not shatter. You retreat, but you return sharper, colder, more precise. Every betrayal becomes a lesson carved into your armor, a scar that thickens your skin. Understand this. The final law is not about avoiding betrayal. It is about transcending it. The man who fears betrayal becomes paranoid, brittle, broken. The man who expects betrayal becomes untouchable. When betrayal strikes, he is already 10 moves ahead. When loyalty crumbles, his system holds. When allies turn, he uses their treachery as leverage to rise higher. Betrayal becomes not a weapon against him, but a resource for him. That is the apex of Machiavellian mastery. That is the cold truth no one dares whisper aloud. And so I tell you this: you will be betrayed by friends, by allies, by those you call brothers. Do not waste time asking if, ask only when, and when it comes. Do not weep, do not crumble, do not curse fate. Smile because you prepare for it, because you expected it, because in that moment, you are not victim, you are sovereign. Betrayal did not destroy you, it revealed you. It proved you have ascended above illusions and built power on the only foundation that lasts: control. Comment: I transcend betrayal if you are ready to etch this law into your soul. And remember, like this, subscribe, and turn on notifications, because in the games of power, information is survival, and survival is the crown of kings.